Hey, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. In this video, I want to talk about maybe one of the worst things I did. Of all the wins that happened, it's good to reflect and talk about what we can improve. One of the biggest weaknesses this year was not focusing on profit at all. Just because I was just so, I was in a very YOLO sort of mentality after the accident. It was just like, you only live once, and I feel like I've never felt just wanting to give, and it's not like I didn't have that feeling before, but for this, for the reasons being of that what happened earlier this year, I just felt more compelled to give, and that's what I did this year. But a business is not a charity. It's a business. And so I definitely did not focus on any means of making profit. Like, it wasn't like a really big priority for me. It was mostly focusing on just getting better, having fun, learning how to roast coffee properly. And properly is put an asterisk behind on that word, because properly is really just meaning like roasting coffee to your goals or to your preference or to your customer's preference or whatever, right? So you can put an asterisk on that and put your definition of properly in there. For me, what it meant for me to do something properly meant getting a coffee, buying a coffee that had flavor qualities that I wanted to taste in the cup and that I wanted to sell. So they had to check both those boxes. You probably asked the question, well, May, doesn't every coffee you like and you want to sell? No, not necessarily. Like, for example, Brazil, the thing that we have as a part of, it's just basically a base in some of our blends. I don't like to drink that by itself. I'll never ever drink that by itself. I'll feel like if I do have to drink Brazil by itself, I'll maybe try to put it or brew it as an espresso, but I would never have it, say, as a pour over, because it won't be pleasing to me. So that's an example of it has to check the box of it's pleasing to me and what I also think will be pleasing to the customer. Another thing for me in terms of roasting something properly would mean I'm able to maximize those flavors. So for example, if I taste a sample roast of a coffee, and not my own sample, but maybe the producers or the importers, and I taste blueberries, I taste raspberries and things like that, and when I roast it, I don't get any of that, then I feel like I have not roasted it properly. Like, maybe I just get chocolate and I just get maybe a hint of some citrus, but I can't clearly define those flavor note profiles and say yes with confidence that I'm actually tasting that, even though with that caveat being that taste is very subjective. But I mean, for the most part, if we talk about pulling out or rendering common flavor notes, like blueberry is pretty distinct versus raspberry versus orange versus, so these really commonplace things. I'm not talking about oh, hibiscus flowers, nothing like that. For me to just be able to delineate common basic flavor notes between certain fruits or citruses and things like that, I think is important to me as a roaster in terms of roasting it properly. Yeah, that was my focus this year, was have fun with it, come back, learn about roasting more. I really didn't know I was going to rebrand this year, things like that. Expenses were a lot higher because I was just YOLOing money everywhere. Just, okay. And that was, I think it's fun. To me, money is a tool, and you can use it to do stuff. It just gives you leverage. And this year, because so many people were looking at Black City Coffee and, buying our coffee, trying our coffee, that was great. And it allowed me to do that, to just buy stuff. At the same time, we didn't net anything of significance, I'd say. So next year would definitely be focusing on profit in a good way. I think, as any business should, there should be some balance in your spending. Most businesses are not, their mission or their financials are not based on YOLO mentality, which is fine. this is my journey, and it's super, it was super loose, and that's because this isn't my only egg in the basket. You know, we have other things going on. And so this sort of like side hustle mentality with side hustle results is expected and okay with me. But I think coming through this year and now reflecting on everything and feeling very good, still feeling quite fragile physically, sometimes emotionally, but knowing that I'm okay. I don't need to YOLO anymore. That was fun, and I had a lot of fun doing the YOLO stuff. At the same time, I love that spirit and I love that energy that I didn't feel bogged down by too much of being very frugal, because I'm a typically I'm a very frugal person. So next year we would practice just some balance, you know? It's not about like, oh, cut this off, be restraining, being YOLO, you know, being one side or the other. I want to just, you know, find that balance, you know. Hope you had fun. We'll see you tomorrow for another video. I don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll just keep it going. Okay, cool. See you in the next one. Bye.